Okay, جماعة Daf Lamed Amud Aleph with two dots. Amar Rabbi Yochanan, sorry, the Tanur Rabbanan, right? Just continuing the halachot of putting stuff in hiding or in public where people could get hurt. You have to be careful how you put it away. Tanur Rabbanan, Hasidim Rishonim Hayim Asidim Ketzudehem Uzchichotehem Betoch Sadotehen. The Hasidim, the righteous people would of the early generations would hide their thorns and glass pieces in their fields. Also, they would dig it deep, 3 tefachim deep, so that it wouldn't block the plow and it wouldn't come up and people won't get hurt by it. Rav Sheshet would burn it. Rava would throw him into the river. Whoever wanted to be a Hasid, should follow the halachot of halachot nizikin. Right? So people think that they have to do so much different things to become a Hasid or a righteous person. Rav Yudah says that a person should just make sure that he knows halachot nizikin of how not to hurt people. Rav Amar, Milad Avot, you should learn Masechet Avot. Amar, that's some people say, Milad Brachot, you should learn halachot brachot. Okay, new Mishnah. Someone put out his processed straw or whole straw, right? Different types of straw that he has, and for the purpose of turning it into fertilizer, like manure. And someone else got damaged by it. But if anyone wants to take it, they're free to take it. So even though you're putting it outside for use, and seemingly you're not making it hefker, but somehow some people could take it. We'll talk about it in the Gemara. Rashba Gomer, whoever puts a hazard in Reshut Rabim and causes damage, you have to pay. And also over there, whoever wants to take it, can take it. Now we're going to bring a case that I mentioned earlier. When someone turns over the dung in Reshut Rabim, and someone else is damaged on it, Hayav bin is called, he's Hayav for the damage because he turned it over. Okay. Maybe our Mishnah that says that your chayav in damages when in public is against Rabbi Yudah. Why did Tanya? Rabbi Yudah says, when people in the season when people used to put out their manure or fertilizing agents or composting agents out, a person could put his stuff out, and he can pile it up there for 30 days. For the purpose of the fact that people will step on it and crush it so it gets like composted. For this purpose, this condition, Yeshua gave Bnei Israel the possession of the land. Meaning, it was one of the Tanaim, one of the conditions that Yeshua said that we can help each other out by putting your stuff outside, let people trample on the stuff so that it becomes good for composting. So it's against Rabbi Yudah. He says you're allowed to do it. The Gemara says, "I feel This is even Rabbi Yudah would agree with it. Right? And because he would hold it. It's true, you're allowed to put it out, but if you don't cause damage, similar case that we had earlier with the water, we'll talk about it again. But I'm going to ask the question. Bener Hanukkah patur. In the halachot of leaving a ner Hanukkah, unbelievable hashkacha pratit. The Daf Yomi started almost 4 years ago, and here we are almost 4 years later, learning about Hilchot Hanukkah and the week of Hanukkah. Unbelievable. If in the Ner of Hanukkah, if you left it outside, you're patur if anybody gets damaged from it. Because you have permission to put it there. My love mishum reshut bedin. So it seems like you're allowed to do it because bedin allows you to put it. That's why you should patur. So to our Mishnah, bedin allows you to do, you should patur. Against Rabbi Yudah, you say no. There's a difference. Look, mishum reshut mitzvah because you have permission to do it for mitzvah, not because of bedin. The Tanya is in Breita. Rabbi Yudah Omer. Bener Hanukkah patur for Hanukkah damage, because it is there with permission for mitzvah. Tashma. All those things that Hachamim said, they allowed to put it in public as a hazard. However, if someone gets damaged, this is your patur. Right? Saying clear cut, Rabbi Yudah is going against our Mishnah. Mara said the Mara Nachman lo that Mishnah is referring to when it's not the correct season. Rabbi Yudah, it's according to Rabbi Yudah, who holds that if you do something, if you put a hazard, you are chayav. Rav Ashi says tivno v'kashotran. Mishnah specifically said the types of straw, right? Mishum dish mashreki, which is slippery. So in the case of slippery items, that can cause damage. You be chayav. Rabbi Yudah says that you're only patur when it's referring to like manure or something that's already composted, which people won't slip on. Okay, now Mishnah said, whoever wants to take it, can take it. Amarav, ben bugufan, ben b'shivchan. You're going to take the actual, what's called a straw. You can take the actual straw, or you're going to take the improvement to the straw. Right? So if it added a bunch of layers of garbage that's good for the fertilizing agent, then you could take the original thing that was put out, and you could take the thing that was improved to it. Uzairi Amar Ziri says, b'shivchan, you can acquire only the improvement to the item of bugufan, but not the original thing itself. What's the machoket based off of? Rav says, Kansu gufan mishum shirchan. The Hachamim made a kanas, penalty, that because you shouldn't have put out the item itself, you could take the improvement and the item itself. The penalty did not transfer over. You could take the improvement, but you can't take the item itself. It's not Mishnah says, if you flip over the dung and someone else gets damaged, have for damages. Over there, it doesn't say you could take it. Right? So how come the penalty doesn't apply over there according to Zeiri? So according to Rav, how come that Mishnah the Rav, according to Rav, you say you could take it? How come you couldn't take the dung? Where it says because in the first case the Mishnah mentioned it, and it also applies in the second case of dung. But it's true. 1 second, there's a question. Asurim mishum gezel. Over there it says that you're not allowed to take it, and you're chayav on gezel if you take it. Where it says, not a good question. Hikatani asurim mishum gezel. It mentions you're not allowed to steal it. Akula matatinkai is referring to the entire Mishnah, straw and dung. Le'otoshe kadam v'zacha. It's referring to a case where someone already took it. You can't take it from him because he already acquired it. But in Achanami, if it was in public, you are allowed to take it first. Does not say this, right? It's on someone to put out straw or whole straw into public to be turned into compost or manure. And someone else was damaged. And anybody wants to take it. You're allowed to take it without any worry about gezel. Someone flips over the dung. If he gets damaged, because of gezel. So make up your mind that you chayav or patur with gezel by straw and dung, and how come it doesn't fit our Mishnah's lashon? All right, it says over here mutar by the straw and asur by the dung. Where it says Amar Nachman galal karamit, you're asking a stira based off of the case of the dung. Davar sheyesh b'sheva, something that can be improved, which is the straw. Kansu gufo mishum shuvho, the penalty can apply where the improvement gets taken by someone else, can be taken, and therefore also the penalty applies as well to the item itself, the straw. However, but something like manure does not become improved. Low kansu, there's no penalty. Therefore, you can't take the dung. There's no penalty being applied there. Ibai will ask the question. According to the opinion Rav, who says that the penalty applies to the item and the improvement, does it happen right away? Meaning the second you put it outside, or do we say that it only after it improved? Right? So do you need the improvement to happen yet to take both? In the first case of dung, it seemed like even though dung does not approve, you can't take it. So too, according to Rav, you can take it according to Rav that you can take the dung. So therefore, even if there's no improvement there and you could take it, so too over here, if it can improve but didn't yet, you should still be able to take it. That's not a good proof. When we mentioned the case of dung by Rav, before Nachman's answer. Nachman's answer that completely knocked out Rav in regarding to the chot of taking dung. Can you bring me the case of dung at all? You can't bring it by Rav. Right? We had to reestablish the case of Rav, right? That the penalty does not apply to only things that improve, and therefore dung will not be able to be taken. Okay, tonight. Let's say there's a stira between Rav and Zeiri. The machloket between Rav and Zeiri that also can be applied to the following machloket Tanaim. Shtar shakatu bo ribit. If someone wrote a document that has the ribit on it, right? I'll lend you $100. You pay me back 2%, and I give you the document. Konsin oto. Betin can penalize the lender. You can't collect the rebate, and you can't collect even the original loan. What a knas. Did it Meir, as Meir says. By Chamim, go back to Keren, you collect the original money, the $100. Avalo go to be, but you cannot collect the interest payments. Lemarav Damar Kerabi Meir, Vizidamar Krabanan. Right, Rav would agree with Meir, who holds that the penalty can apply to the original $100 and the original straw. Uzidamar Krabanan, and Zir would hold the Krabanan, who holds that you don't apply it to the original, you can only apply it to the extras. Rav say not a good proof. Why? Because you can say that there's a difference in the cases. I might even agree to according to Khamim in that case. I only mentioned by the case of the principal money and by the straw. In the case of the loan, sorry, this was the loan. By the loan, it was done beheter. It was done with permission. But in the case of the loan itself, keren agufim kamazik. Also, by the case of the dung itself can damage, or the straw can damage itself, and therefore it shouldn't apply. I also don't agree with this comparison of machlokets. I might even agree with her according to the mayor. Why? Meir over there by the case of the loan. In regarding to the loan, the avira happened at the time of the document being written, because that's when the interest was placed. In the case of the item, when you put the item outside, it's not an automatic damage happening, not an automatic bad thing happening until someone trips on it. So therefore, it's not a good parallel between the machlokets. It's a different machloket. Someone put out a straw or stuff to be processed into manure. Got damaged, damages. You can take it, but you can't. But you get Yisur Gezel, right? Seemingly a contradiction, doesn't make sense. We'll explain in a second. Anything that you put in public and the damages, whoever wants to take it, can take it. And you have no Yisur of Gezel. So the Gemara says, Agu Vagasha. Like we just said, it doesn't make sense. You said that whoever could take it, take it. And afterwards you say, Asum Mishum Gezel. That's because of Gezel. They re-explain it. Whoever wants to take it can take the improvement. And you can't, and it's asur because of theft if you want to take the straw itself. Right? The first Tana is according to Zeiri. Rashbag says, I feel the gufa nami, and Rashbag maybe was coming to say that even the principal item itself, you can take it, that fits with according to Rav. Gemara says not a good comparison. According to Zeiri, in his machloket with Rav, it's definitely according to this machloket Tanaim. The Rav mi lema Tanai, but according to Rav, it does not have to be the same machloket. Amar like Rav would say to you, the kula alma kansu gufan mishuv shulchan. It's all about the kanas. I hold the materials, the principal item, the straw itself is kanas because of the improvement. The halacha is whether or not you can apply a certain halacha. There's a few times in Shas and halachot where the halacha is like the way it should be. However, we don't tell people to do it. Right? It happens a lot in Halachot Tov, for example, where we tell people that it would get abused. So the halacha is let's say mutar, but we don't publicize it. So the question is, we don't tell people to do it. Therefore, they would both agree that it's to be taken, but we don't let people know that they could do it. The Itmar, we have a very top. Rahuna says in name Rav, the original item is hefker, but we don't tell people to do it. Rav says, it becomes hefker, and you could tell people, guys, whoever puts it aside, it's free for the taking. And is that so? Then we shouldn't tell people that it's hefker according to Ravuna. The Ravuna made his barley, made barley that was in the street hefker. Rav Ada bar Ahava afker, and Ada bar Ahava made hefker selikutsta, dates that are left in public. So we see that you do announce it, and you do tell people. Maybe Rav Ada bar Ahava kishmaate. Maybe Rav Ada held the other brayta. Rav Huna, but according to Rav Huna, it's his own halacha. Did he retract? One says hanhu mutrun havu. No, different case. In general, you don't announce people to take the stuff that was left outside. However, then you can imagine, because then it create hatred, eva between people. However, in this case of the barley, they were warned against placing these things in public because it was tripping people left and right, and barley apparently was causing damage. So because they were warned several times already, Rav Huna decided to penalize them and announce to the public that they could take it. Okay, let's do a little more. Two people were walking with pots in their hands, one after another. The first one tripped and fell. The second guy tripped on the first guy. The first guy's hayav for the second guy's damage. All right, so seemingly, if you want to compare it to nowadays, I would compare it to a case of cars. Suddenly, the guy in front of you stops, and the second guy hits you. Second guy hits the first guy. So I know when I think driving laws, the second guy is actually responsible. But we're going to see the different variables, how it applies over here. We'll continue tomorrow.